Howdy y'all and welcome back. Let me start off this video by saying this is not intended to hurt anybody's feelings or poke fun of anybody or please don't take this the wrong way, okay? I recently experienced what we shall call a teachable moment in my gun group. And it was when that photo, that still image of the police officer was shared. And the caption was to the effect of what is this grip or something like that. And I was stunned at how many people did not recognize, and I'll try to replicate roughly what I'm seeing is kind of that, right? Something like that. And people didn't recognize this as compressed ready. I don't know if people thought that he was about to shoot the gun. It was confusing to me that so many people didn't recognize. This is a little bit awkward from this as compressed ready. If the officer is clearly engaged in some kind of a dynamic situation, his body camera is recording, and it's a freeze-framed still of that happening. Now, personally, I don't that's kind of a monkey grip he's got with the dominant hand, with the thumbs kind of down. I grip a pistol like this, which leaves all of this open for my proper thumbs forward two-handed grip. And then when I come into compressed ready, it would look something more like this. I kind of keep the thumbs not necessarily parallel. If I can, it might, but if I'm going to come down and go muzzle down, then they're going to be kind of married up like that. Your mileage may vary. But the concept is he was more than likely something in a completely in compressed ready and down, and he's deploying or he's somewhere in between, kind of like that. The gun is not at extension. You can tell by the angle of his arms that it's in. And yeah, that's compressed ready. I don't know if people only think of maybe this as the acceptable compressed ready, or that's what they just weren't even thinking of. I don't know. It was strange that in a gun group, that many people could not just quickly see what was going on there. And lots of comments about that's going to blow his thumb off or break his thumb or something. And no, it wouldn't. If that officer was to go from that position and squeeze the trigger, that slide's going to slip right under his thumb. My normal firing position, both of my thumbs are all up on the slide. It doesn't hurt at all. I've done a drill in class where I completely held the top of a gun while someone else fired it. The whole slide reciprocates under my hand. The case comes out and it jams up the gun because the case can't extract, but it's a little hot. It's not the end of the world, and it really doesn't hurt. And more than likely, if you were to fire a gun with your thumb up here, it's just going to slip right under there. Might surprise you a little, but probably not the end of the world. But a lot of people were I guess convinced, maybe if you had just some kind of a crazy death grip and you were really mashing down and then fired it, yeah, it might yank your thumb back, I guess. But that's probably not the amount of pressure that he's applying in the photograph. He's coming in. Again, he's got the thumb down, which feels a little awkward to me. I go up, but compressed ready, y'all. The idea being you don't want to have to, hey, what's going on when you're holding a firearm. So we want to bring it in close to the body to keep it. Our strength is in close to us, not out here. So we want to keep the weapon into our body and generally kind of down, and he might be bringing it up or he might be in the middle of bringing it back down. We don't know. But either way, that's kind of the way you do it, is that hand comes in. This is awkward and uncomfortable, and then this is even more awkward and uncomfortable. So you just break that weak hand grip a little bit and bring it in. You might also come in. You might run with a temporal, there are all different kinds of variations off of compressed ready. And none of them are necessarily right or wrong. will depend on the context of the situation. Someone else commented that it looks like he's muzzling his partner. I don't see that. But, you know, in a dynamic situation, you might be doing a thing and then your partner comes around here and for a brief moment you might be muzzling him and, oh, wow, I need to. That stuff happens. Like, come on. So, again, I'm not trying to attack anyone, but I was genuinely surprised at how many people didn't just immediately recognize what that position was. Which brings me to tactical resistance, let's call it. If you're watching this and you hear my voice, you're probably not one of these people. But it is a really common phenomenon among gun owners. I hate to use the word FUD, but it's at least pretty FUD adjacent, to really resist any kind of training that might resemble like law enforcement, police, military, or even competitive training. I don't know, like, it's, oh, that's tactical and that's not for me. And like, even if you don't own firearms for the potential purpose of using them for self-defense, like maybe you are totally against the idea of using a firearm in self-defense and you only own them for collectability or to go to the range and plink, and that's fine. But it seems like you would have accidentally bumped across someone exercising compressed ready, like somewhere. And maybe be willing to open your mind and explore some gun handling options that are available to us, so that if maybe that situation does arise, or maybe you're just at the range and something kicks off and you're like, whoa, what's going on? And you need to be able to turn around and not just like muzzle everybody or put the gun down first. Like, it's one more option. Compressed ready. So anyway, let's try not to like rut ourselves into being one kind of gun owner. Let's be gun people and embrace all of the different aspects and dynamics and things that can go along with the hobby, the lifestyle, the whatever you want to call it. Be gun people, y'all. All right, that's all I got for today. Again, please, I'm not trying to hurt any feelings. I was just genuinely surprised. And if this is something that was really like, wow, what's going on here? Spend a little time, do a YouTube search of handgun compressed ready. There are all kinds of videos out there by qualified instructors, people who know a lot more than I do, and they can teach it to you. Until next time, be easy, y'all.